Hello, my name is Brent Willis. I'm with GMBluePlan Engineers out of Owen Sound. This virtual presentation provides an outline of the environmental assessment currently being completed by the municipality of Brockton in relation to Greenock Bridge number 2, also known as the Riversdale Bridge. GMBluePlan has been retained by Brockton to assist in completing this EA. This slide provides a general overview of the topics to be covered in the presentation. The ultimate purpose is to present a recommended preferred solution for Council's consideration in deciding the most appropriate route forward for this aging bridge. The environmental assessment process is broken down into 5 phases. The Riversdale Bridge meets the requirements of a Schedule B municipal class EA. This means that only phases 1, 2, and 5 apply. The Riversdale Bridge project is currently nearing the end of phase 2, which will see the preferred solution selected by Council, followed by a publication of the Notice of Completion. Inspection reports for the aging Riversdale Bridge note advanced deterioration of the superstructure and substructure to a point where the bridge is no longer able to fulfill its intended function, and therefore consideration should be given to addressing a long-term solution. This aerial photo shows the location of the bridge west of Walkerton and just north of Riversdale. It's a single-lane through-truss style of bridge and carries a very low volume of traffic. Following our recent inspection, it was closed to traffic due to its poor condition. Public comments were solicited in the fall of 2020. This slide provides a general overview of the nature of comments received. Some members of the public spoke during the virtual Public Information Center held on November 9th, 2020, while others submitted written comments. Details of the comments received will be included in the project file. There are 5 alternatives under consideration for this bridge. The first one is to do nothing, which is not feasible for this project, but is mandated to be considered in all EAs. The second alternative is rehabilitation to maintain vehicular traffic. The third one is replacement. The fourth, removal. And the fifth is adaptive reuse, which involves rehabilitating to a level sufficient for non-vehicular use. A total of 6 criteria are being used to evaluate the alternatives. Notice that these include not only the natural environment, but also the technical, social, cultural, and economic environments. The first alternative is to do nothing. As I mentioned earlier, this alternative does not address the problem and is therefore not feasible. It has only been included because it is standard practice to consider the do nothing option in environmental assessments. The second alternative is to rehabilitate the bridge. Major repairs would be required, including significant abutment and superstructure work. A number of components in the superstructure would have to be replaced. Extensive rehabilitation work was done a little over a decade ago. Capital costs and ongoing maintenance would be significant, and frequent repairs should be expected in the future. Rehabilitation would only marginally extend the useful life of the bridge, delaying the need to address a permanent solution. The third alternative is replacement of the entire bridge. This alternative has been broken into 3 subcategories. A and B pertain to vehicular use as summarized on this slide. Category C pertains to pedestrian and recreational use only. Single-lane bridges are rarely considered nowadays, since they generally do not meet current traffic safety standards. However, given the low volume of traffic on this road and the sharp curves on the approaches, an argument can be made for considering such a bridge. Both the single-lane and 2-lane bridges would also maintain pedestrian access. The costs shown here are conservative estimates and would be further refined when the detailed design is completed and finalized when the project is tendered. The benefits of replacing the bridge must be weighed against other capital needs that the municipality may have. This slide shows the locations of the various bridges that Brockton is responsible for. 2 bridges have been removed in the last 15 years or so, with 35 bridges remaining. Bridges usually have a service life of 75 to 100 years, so on average 1 bridge should be replaced every 2 to 3 years. At present, 7 bridges are in need of rehabilitation work, so the combined cost of replacing and repairing bridges represents a significant burden for Brockton and its taxpayers. It's worth noting that Brockton is responsible for 37 structures within its overall transportation system. The costs associated with maintaining these assets are significant. The Riversdale crossing primarily accommodates local traffic. Vehicles traveling through the region would not consider this road to be an efficient route. Given the low traffic volume and limited utility for the majority of Brockton residents, the costs associated with maintaining this crossing may outweigh the benefits. Alternative 3C considers replacement with a non-vehicular bridge. Use would be suited for recreational activities such as walking, cycling, ATVs, and snowmobiles. Highway traffic would not be permitted. This slide summarizes cost estimates for various design options for each of the 3 replacement alternatives. I would like to reiterate that the costs shown are conservative estimates based on GMBluePlan's experience with numerous other bridge projects across southwestern Ontario. These estimates will further be refined at the detailed design stage and ultimately finalized when the work is tendered. We have included estimates for various design options within each of the 3 replacement alternatives as requested by Brockton. The EA process does not require this level of detail until later during the design phase. In our experience, reinforced concrete has proven to be the most economical for achieving the 75-year lifespan required by the Bridge Code. Timber and fiberglass also offer durable solutions with similar lifespans to concrete. However, they tend to be more costly. Bailey or acro bridges are normally used as temporary structures. As such, maintenance costs are expected to be higher, and they may not last 75 years. Alternative 4 consists of removal of the entire bridge, restoring the riverbank back to its natural condition. Turnarounds would have to be constructed on the resulting dead-end roads. This road is not an integral part of the overall transportation system for Brockton. It services a low volume of local traffic. As you can see on the map, the alternate route from one side of the bridge to the other would be about 8 kilometers long. This map shows the location of various EMS stations that serve Brockton. Since the bridge is on a road that is not an important part of the overall transportation system, emergency response times should not be adversely affected by removal of the bridge. The various EMS providers were contacted and requested to provide input. No concerns were raised. Restoring the approaches to pre-development conditions will improve the stability of the embankments and flow hydraulics of the river. Capital costs for removal will be lower than the costs for other alternatives. With no future maintenance costs, there would be a long-term financial benefit. Under the adaptive reuse option, vehicles would be prohibited from using the bridge, with only pedestrians and cyclists having access. In the past, efforts to restrict vehicular access at other bridges have been compromised, whereby barricades have been illegally removed to restore vehicular access. The natural environment would remain virtually unchanged under this alternative. Retention of the structure would most certainly be preferred from a cultural heritage standpoint. Capital and maintenance costs would be significant due to the age of the bridge and ongoing maintenance requirements. As discussed for the bridge rehabilitation option, this solution is not viable over the long term without a significant financial investment. There are many different ways to rank the various alternatives. In an effort to compare them with respect to the 5 environments, we have prepared this table. The do-nothing alternative will not be considered for reasons stated earlier. Rehabilitation offers a cultural heritage benefit, but the high costs and minimal lifespan may significantly overshadow those benefits. Replacement offers distinct social benefits to the local community, but again, at a significant cost. Adaptive reuse provides social and cultural advantages, but again, at a significant cost and for a limited duration. Removal offers technical, natural, and economic benefits at a reasonable price, and for this reason is currently considered to be the preliminary recommended solution. GMBluePlan recommends that Brockton select removal as the preferred solution. Ultimately, it is up to the Council of Brockton to make this decision. We acknowledge that Council and staff may place greater weight on the local Riversdale community's social and cultural environment, and lesser weight on the broader economic environment of the municipality as a whole. This may lead Council to select one of the replacement alternatives. If this is the case, GMBluePlan would recommend replacement with a 2-lane vehicular bridge as the secondary preferred solution. In conclusion, this presentation is intended to provide a brief review of the information compiled during the course of this Schedule B EA, as well as an outline of the 5 alternatives and GMBluePlan's recommendation of a preferred solution for consideration by the Council of Brockton. Once a decision is made, the notice of completion will be published, which begins the 30-day review period. If no Part 2 order requests are received, detailed design for the preferred solution may proceed, followed by tendering and construction. On behalf of GMBluePlan, I would like to thank you for your attention, and I look forward to fielding any technical questions that the Mayor and Council may have. Thank you.